Reporting live, your daily hood news reporter. You feel what I'm saying? So, I got a little issue. I'm just, just bringing it up, just throwing it out there just for conversation, just to see what y'all think about this. Maybe we can have a little discussion. This is just my opinion. Doesn't mean too much, just an opinion. You feel me? But it's just something that we need to think about as a people, as a culture. So hit the like button, subscribe, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep on giving you what you need, some of that knowledge, some of all that good stuff right there, you know what I'm talking about. But the issue and the topic that I want to talk today about is education. You know, there was something that a pastor once said, and he was a young pastor, and when he said it, I went back because I was really interested in it, and it really hit home for me, so I didn't fully understand it, but I went and I said something to my mother about it. When I said something to my mother about it, she thought it was senseless. But now I understand why. God has kind of brought it full circle when it comes to the topic of education. The fact is that the pastor said that, Pastor Atkins said one time that basically that one day your children, or he was speaking to us, so that your parents will become your brother or sister in Christ. And so, when I went back and I, said something to my mother about it, I said, one day, I will become your brother in Christ. And she said, well, that don't make sense. I'm your mama, and I'm always going to be your mama, which is true. You will always be my mother. But with that being said is I believe that education has something to do with it. And the reason why of what the pastor was implying or saying or that I read into it is that because of education, because each generation is going to be more educated or supposed to be more educated than the last. So at some point, as a parent, you have to depend on your child now. Your child does not per se depend on you as much as they once did. It starts to change a little bit because the world as you have known it is changing. And because it is changing, and because your child is the one that is picking up that new information, and that they are picking it up at a expeditious rate in comparison to you, that you have to depend on them. You can't dictate. You can't just say this is just the way it is because your child has some type of information that you don't have. I will use this as an example. I was taking computer classes, and what I mean by computer classes, in high school, we started taking typing classes. We started working on the computer before my 9th grade year, okay, which I don't know. This is like 96, right? So that was a while ago, okay? That's when I started taking typing classes, and I was ever really introduced to a computer in school. Well, fast forward to today, my son is in kindergarten, and they're typing. So just imagine that. He's typing in kindergarten. It took me until I got into 9th grade. I was 14, 15 years old. He's doing this at 5. So by the time he gets to 14 or 15, there are going to be certain things that he's going to be. Let's fast forward past 14, 15. When he gets to be 21, he would have been typing nearly as long as I have been typing. He may be able to tell me something that I don't know about typing. And I'm going to have to trust in my son, because guess what? He's been doing it longer. We as a black culture in a black community, what we do is we do not trust in our children. What was civil rights for? What was the point of the civil rights movement if our children go out and get an education. And then when we come back and we tell you about certain civil things that we are going through and you don't listen to us, what was it for? What was it for if we go and get an education and the first thing, now mind you, I know that there are individuals who will think that they are better than people. Oh, I got an education. Y'all ain't got no education. So, right? That's a slippery slope, because sometimes, you know, it's confused. Sometimes people are insecure. Sometimes because you have an education and they don't, that they will automatically claim, oh, well, you just think you smarter than somebody. No, I don't think I'm smarter than somebody. If I thought I was smarter than somebody, I wouldn't be talking to you about it. Because I'd be like, you just ain't gonna understand. This is above your head. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not saying these things to be condescending. I'm saying these things because I love you. Because you done made sacrifices for me. You marched. You feel what I'm saying? You faced dogs. You face lynchings. You face people trying to beat you down. You face people trying to shoot you. You face all these bad things, right? And you face all these things, and then as your child, you know, someone who loves you, someone who admires you, someone who looks up to you, who thinks of you as a mentor, who thinks of you as someone that, you know, is there that I look up to, you'll be the very person that when I come and I give you some information, you'll doubt me. I'm not saying that you should just take everything that we say at face value. No, I'm not saying that, but at least research it. Don't run right back to the oppressor. At some point, we have to be able to think for ourselves, for our own interest. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, you know, nowadays, they all about self-preservation. You feel me? So they're going to do what's in the best interest of themselves. And if it's not in their best interest, 9 times out of 10, it's not in their best interest to help you. That's how they view it. So it's like, you know, they're not going to give you some information. But I give you the information. I give it to you. And then you won't believe me. You look at me as if I'm less. You look at me as if I don't know anything. I could say the same thing. I could say the same exact thing that somebody else said. And you'll sit there and you'll look at me and you won't even believe it. But then somebody else says it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yup, that sure is right. Come on, man. We got to do better about this. Come on. So, you know, we just have to accept that our children will be learning things that we don't know. That doesn't make them better than us. That doesn't mean that we should feel any type of way about it. That means that we should be proud because we have done our jobs. We have allowed our children to be able to learn, and we have supported that, and we have fostered it. And then when they come back to us, when they come back like that prodigal child, when they come back and they give us some information to help our culture collectively, then I think it's our responsibility to support them, to help them, to say that we are there for you, that, dude, we don't look down on you because you have gotten farther than us. That was the goal, for you to get farther than us. And at some point, because we want you to get farther than us, we have to let go. We have to say that our children know what they are talking about, because we have made every effort in order for them to be able to gain the education. Now, after they gain that education, we can't allow the system, and we can't allow these people to sit here and tell us that our children don't know what they're talking about when they're using the same systems, the same criteria, the same requirements, the same processes that they're using. How is that? You would let a person tell you that I am wrong and I'm using the same system that they're using. I look like you. My interests are just like yours, but you will believe them. It does not make sense, ladies and gentlemen. It just does not make any type of sense whatsoever. God bless you. I love you all, you know, and I'm out for the day. This is your daily news coverage from your hood reporter. I holla back at you.